Fortnite Battle Royale takes place in a world full of secrets and mysteries. We've seen characters like the Visitor come from outer space, we've seen the AIM skin appear from seemingly out of the blue, and we have a bunker that has sat on the island over the course of multiple map changes and seasons now that has never once even been opened. So I think it is safe to say that we only know a very small amount of information when it comes to the grander and wider world that Fortnite Battle Royale takes place in. But beyond the edges of the map, we know there is a massive world out there full of mysteries and unanswered questions. And while there is still so much to explore out there, the Fortnite island itself still does hold its fair share of secrets, even now, nearly 10 seasons into Battle Royale. Honestly, there's still a lot that most people don't know about our island here, so today we're taking a look at 10 secret spots on the Fortnite Islands. What's up guys, and welcome back to the Simply Fortnite channel, and as always, thanks for stopping by. If you are new here, feel free to subscribe with your post notifications turned on, and of course if you do enjoy the video, don't forget to drop a like rating on it, as it would be much appreciated. And now without further ado, let's jump back into the world of Fortnite and dive right into the secret spots of the Fortnite Islands. Now before we do go ahead and get right into our list here today, we did actually make a video pretty similar to this one a few weeks back, so after you've finished watching this one, if you are looking for a few more secret spots and hidden gems on the Fortnite Islands, definitely be sure to check out that video as well. That way you can stay on top of every little hidden piece of info that does lie on the map. But for now, let's get into 10 more secret spots. Number 1. Scoops Ahoy. With the addition of the Mega Mall location in the Season 9 map update, we got ourselves a brand new restaurant vendor on the Fortnite Islands, and this one just happens to have some extra secrecy and meaning to it. Of course, for a while now we have seen the battle of food superiority going on the Fortnite Islands, as the Durr Burger and Pizza Pit chains have been battling back and forth for a while now. In addition to that, we also have taco and chicken vendors as well, and now thanks to a neat little Easter egg, we have an ice cream shop with Scoops Ahoy, which might sound a little familiar to you because Scoops Ahoy is actually the name of the ice cream shop in the popular Netflix show Stranger Things. So while you may or may not know the origins of the shop, Scoops Ahoy is actually a neat little Easter egg that was introduced with the Season 9 update, and we know thanks to Netflix spilling the beans recently at E3 that the Scoops Ahoy shop is only the beginning when it comes to a much larger Fortnite and Stranger Things crossover. So perhaps in the future we could see some new Stranger Things skins or some kind of Stranger Things limited time mode introduced into the game. And it all started right here with the Scoops Ahoy shop and a few bowls of frozen dairy. It is pretty cool to think that this is our first main Easter egg location based off of somewhere outside of the game, and it is definitely a pretty cool secret spot as well. Perhaps the shop is going to be the gateway to the Upside Down. For that, we're just going to have to wait and see. Number 2. John Wick's house. Oddly enough, Scoops Ahoy is not the only new location on the Fortnite map that is based off of something we've actually seen outside of the world of Fortnite Battle Royale. With the Season 9 map update, we of course got a ton of new updates to the map, both big and small, and one relatively unknown change was made to the small house outside of Paradise Palms that many people thought was owned by Calamity, as she was seen farming in the yard during a loading screen in the past. But now this house is no ordinary farmhouse. It's actually a massive mansion that is apparently owned by an assassin according to one of our Fortbite challenges, and that assassin is reportedly none other than John Wick himself. First, back in Season 3, we had the Reaper skin, who everyone just assumed was a John Wick knockoff, but then we did recently see the John Wick LTM and John Wick himself featured as a skin in the game as well. And it appears even his home is now on the map for the time being, and just like in the movie, the basement of this house does have some secret goodies. In the movie, John Wick hides a stash of secrets within the floor of his basement, and conveniently placed in the basement of this desert mansion is a stash of loot within a hole in the floor. This is actually a standard chest spawn, and sometimes even 3 chests spawn in this one tiny hole, making it one of the best hidden gems in all of Fortnite Battle Royale that, well, most people probably don't even know about. Number 3. Behind the Fatal Fields door in Prop Hunt. Alright, so this one is oddly specific, as I'm sure you guys could tell, and we gotta give credit where credit is due. Shout out to the homie Dugan for highlighting this spot, because on the Stray Kite Farms or Fatal Fields Prop Hunt map, there is actually a spot behind the door of the shed outside of the main Fatal Fields house that is by far one of the best hiding spots in the entire game. In order to actually access this spot, you do have to turn into an apple, but after you do that, you can actually open the door and hide in between the crack of the door and the wall of the shed. And this secret spot is, well, about as OP as it gets. Number 4. The Monster. All season long, we have been paying close attention to the ongoings at Polar Peak, as pretty early on into the season, there were signs of the iceberg crumbling to the ground as it periodically would shake and creak. Then of course we saw the eye appear within the base of the iceberg, and this was our first glimpse at the monster. And then more recently we saw the aftermath of the monster breaking free from the iceberg, causing massive damage to the iceberg itself, and sparking one of the more secretive Easter eggs currently in the game. As you have probably noticed, the ice castle that used to sit atop Polar Peak is now missing, except it's really not, it's just been relocated to, well, the ocean, as from time to time, you can actually see the ice castle appear on the surface of the waves off in the distance, seemingly surfing on the top of the head of the Polar Peak monster, as it currently roams the seas waiting for the prime opportunity to strike back at the island. So next time you're on the coast of the island, be sure to keep your eyes out just in case you see the monster and the ice castle swimming off in the distance. Number 5. The Rocket. If you're a more OG player here in Fortnite Battle Royale, you probably remember the rocket launch event back in Season 4. At the time, this was our first ever in-game live event in Fortnite history, and it was also one of the biggest events in gaming at the time. Of course, if you were in attendance, you, like me, saw the rocket nearly destroy a handful of locations on the island, including the late Great Tilted Towers, but lo and behold, the rocket was actually rifted to and from various portals, and eventually ripped through the sky, creating a massive rift that lingered above the island for quite some time. But somewhere out there, the rocket is still there, or so we think, and now, on the Fortnite Islands, there is actually a little rocket Easter egg located right in the heart of Neo Tilted. It is much easier to see when you are gliding in, but when you're above the fountain area right in the very center of the city, you'll actually notice that the fountain pond is shaped just like the rocket. Number 6. The Sky Platforms. This one might not be as secretive as some of our other spots on the list. However, these sky platforms are more than just an easy method of transportation this season, as the locations of our 7 platforms in the sky are, well, rather convenient. You may have picked up on it, you may not have, but the sky platforms are all actually located exactly where the rune and rune areas were located back in seasons 5 and 6. It's not necessarily the biggest secret out there, but it is still pretty cool nonetheless. Number 7. The Cornfields. The OG Fortnite players will also remember a time where in Fatal Fields, the cornfields were not lush and abundant like they are now, and they also weren't filled with a few surprises like they are now. In fact, if you happen to land at or visit Fatal Fields, by hacking down some of the corn stalks, you can actually find a few loot spawns and even some chests as well. So while it may be pretty easy to get lost in, it's also a nice little secret spot to find some loot. Number 8. The Wind Turbines. A brand new addition to the Fortnite map with the Season 9 update comes in the form of the various wind turbines that are scattered all across the northwestern area of the map. And while the turbines themselves aren't anything too crazy or secretive, I mean, they are pretty obvious, let's be real here, the real secret lies on top of the turbines, where you can actually find some pretty nice surprises, including a few chest spawns, some floor loot, and also a few baller spawns as well. So if you are ever in need of some dire loot, looking atop the turbines could actually be a pretty good idea. Number 9. The Salty Springs Bunker. Alright, so this one is a bit of a throwback, and quite a few of you guys probably already know about this one by now, but it is still one of the more OG secret spots on the map. And that of course is the secret bunker underneath Salty Springs that is only accessible via the blue house at the very front of the neighborhood. Now you do have to break away some boxes and other scraps in order to access it, but lo and behold, there is a basement in this house that is far more advanced than most of the other basements that we know about, as it is actually a secret bunker for the heroes of Season 4. Number 10. The Fortbites. Rounding out our list here today, we actually have a few secret spots that we thought we would share with you guys, that being some of the Fortbite locations that are all hidden all around the map. Now, there are obviously a lot more than what we'll share here today, but a few of the more secretive Fortbite locations are as follows. There's one found atop the clock tower in Neo Tilted that is listed as Fortbite number 2, and the official description for this one is found at a secret location hidden within loading screen number 6. Fortbite 14 is actually found within an RV park, and this one is actually located outside of Mega Mall and Lonely Lodge at one of the oldest locations still on the map. And rounding out this spot, we have Fortbite number 16, which is located in a desert house with too many chairs, and this one can be found within Westworld, as most people call it, in the iconic chair house on the outskirts of the town. And there you guys have it. Those are 10 secret spots here in Fortnite Battle Royale. And with that being said, that is effectively going to wrap things up for today. Definitely drop us a comment down below letting us know what limited time mode is your all-time favorite here in Fortnite. Of course, if you guys enjoyed today's video, make sure to drop a like on it, give it a big old thumbs up, as it would be much appreciated. And if you are brand new here to the Simply Fortnite channel, feel free to subscribe with your post notifications turned on. That way you'll always know when a new video goes live. Once again, thank you guys so much for tuning in, and until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and we'll see you guys on the battle bus. Peace out.